Hello everyone, welcome to the day 2 session. This is Sarvan here, the other person who will be your tutor for the sessions in the QTP. The first day was taken by Rajesh. Okay, so today we'll be discussing two topics. First one is local object repository, and second one is get RO property. So first we'll start with the local object repository, and hope day one session you would have got the video after the session as well, and any doubts regarding that we'll be taking up at the end of the session. Okay, and again to recap the things, this is a place, the place where I'm typing it, right? It's called as a QTP editor, where you type the code. Okay, just as a recap, and if you see here, this is the data table. Basically this area is called as a data table, where it's like it has the Excel feature kind of a stuff. Okay, and the other areas which we were looking into is the other areas which is most important when we are automating is the object repository. Okay, on day one when we were discussing object repository, we were not worried whether it's a local object repository. Basically there are two kinds of repository. Today we'll be discussing local object repository, and the other one is called a shared object repository, which we'll be discussing in future classes. Okay, in object repository, right, when I open the object repository, it's a storage place where all the objects are stored. Okay, as we discussed earlier in day one class, the objects are stored in this area, basically the test object area. All the objects are stored. Okay, in an application, if it's a web application, the objects which you already have learned, or supposedly if you want a kind of a recap, say in a web application, if I open a web application, okay, let me just open a application and showcase you. Okay, let me open an application and show you what all kind of objects will be available. Okay, so it might be very basic, guys. I mean, but I just want the people to be very strong in the basics so that the future automation will be much more easier. Okay, if you see here, can you see something like this? This is a text box. Text box, what QTP considers is it's as an object. If you see here, this we call it as a button. This is considered as an object, and all the other links and all those things are considered as an object. Okay. Apart from this, what all the other projects, objects which which you would be knowing. Basically, radio button, check boxes, list box. Okay, but QTP, it also considers what you call, if there is a text, right? It also is considered as a object. So first, what QTP does is it collects the objects in this place. Okay, in the object repository. Okay, when we write a code, it first interacts with these objects, and then only it interacts with your application. Okay, everybody getting it, right? So it's like a triangular process. Basically, first the code, first it tries to execute here, and the objects, whatever it is there, it is going to learn, and then it interacts with the application. Okay, so this is what the basic structure is, how exactly the QTP understands the code and all those stuff. Okay, what I'll do is, and the next thing is, as I said, the local object repository, it won't be like definition way. Okay, local object repository is nothing but when we open a test, basically when we open a test, when we write a code and save it, right? It's called as a test, and the objects which are stored here, it becomes local to that particular test. Okay, once I do that, you will be able to understand. Okay, first what I'll do is I'll show you a test case. Basically, from here on, whatever we are going to write a code, right, or in your office in future when you become an automation tester, basically you are starting with the automation testing. Okay, what we'll be doing is I'll just show you a test case. First is launch this application books.rediff.com. Okay, the test case says like this. It's a positive test case. Okay, it says launch the application, click on this sign in. Okay, click on this sign in, enter username and password. Okay, I'm entering the username as qtpworld2008 at gmail.com, and I am going to enter my password. This is all the steps which is given in the test case. Presume that it's given in a test case. Okay, in future classes, right, we'll be showing the test case and we'll be writing the code for that, because that would be your daily activity when you get into a project. Okay, so once I enter the username password, click on the login. If you had seen the first page, what I did was I clicked on the sign in. This is my second page where I enter the username, basically the email ID and the password, and I'm going to click on the login. Okay, okay, and finally this is my third page. In the third page, I need to validate, the test case says validate whether that user ID is logged in or not. So how do I validate? When I was generally when we signed up, right, the username had the username as QTP World 2008G. So I need to validate this user ID and finally click on this sign out. In the third page, I need to validate and click on this sign out. This is what my test case says. And finally, what do I need to do is I need to close my browser, guys. I need to close my browser. Okay, and the test case is going to end. Okay, basically let me brief you. First page, I need to click on sign in. Second page, I need to enter username, password and click on the login button. In the third page, I need to validate and sign out. So the last but not least, I need to close the browser as well. Okay, so first and foremost thing is how do I close the, basically open the browser and launch my application. Okay, so first and foremost line of code. Okay, I need to launch. How do I comment it? I need to write a single code and say first my objective is to launch. Okay, first my objective is to launch. This is a non-executable code. Whenever we write a command, right, it's called as a non-executable code. Okay, how do I start launching the application? What is the code for that? It is systemutil dot run. Systemutil dot run. Okay, iexplore dot exe. iexplore dot exe, comma, I need to use my URL now. So let me just copy paste the URL. It is books.rediff.com. Okay, what is this line of code means? What is this third line of code describes basically? Okay, it is nothing but your run command. Okay, systemutil.run is your run command. Okay, inside this, if you type in iexplore.exe, it opens the IE, and books.rediff.com is nothing but it launches the application. Okay, this is the first line of code. Okay, now once it is launched, what I'll do is, shall I give a run and see whether my first line of code is working or not? I'll just give a run command. If you see here, it launched the application. Okay, it launched the IE and it launched the application. Okay, so the first and foremost important rule is you have to open the QTP application first and then the application which you are going to test. So always whenever you are going to automate, right, always launch it through the QTP. That is the best way of automating the things. Okay, now my next objective is, as per my test case, in the first page, what exactly I need to do? I need to click on the sign in. Okay, so for that, what do I need to do? Let me write a comment for that. First page. Okay, so if I want to work on this object, I don't know what object it is now. Okay, based on my what you call analysis, I'm thinking it might be a link. I don't know. I really don't know what exactly it is. Okay, so it might sound like a link, but it might be a button also. But we'll leave that perspective to QTP itself. Okay, let QTP learn that object and show to us what object it is. Okay, so to reach that object, what do we need to do? Come to resource, object repository. Okay, it opens up the object repository. How do I add that object? How do I add that object? Basically, click on this plus sign, plus symbol. What object I wanted? This sign in. Because in my test case, it says launch the application, click on this sign in. Okay. Now once I say okay, right? The the object got collected into the object repository. The objects, whatever it is there, right, it is local to the test. So that is how it's called as local object repository. It will be much more clearer when I go into the second page and third page as well. Okay, now how do I start typing the code now? Okay, what is your parent hierarchy? Parent hierarchy, this is whatever the object collected, right? It's in a hierarchical mode. Okay, what is the first hierarchy which we have? It is browser, and what is there inside is the logical div. So how do I start typing the code now? With the help of the object repository, it is browser, open braces, automatically your logical name will arrive. Okay, now let me just close the braces. Dot, what is the next standard object which we have? It is page. Okay, so I need to type in page. Once I open the braces, what exactly it is coming up? Again, the logical name. Then dot, what is your last and foremost standard object is the link. Okay, link. Once I open the braces, what exactly it is? What we are doing on that link, what we are performing the task on the link. Can you suggest? I mean, basically it would be click. I'm going to click on that sign in and click on that link basically. Okay, so to brief you again, first is the browser and the logical name, then page, the logical name and your standard object. What we are doing on that standard object is called as a method. Definition wise, it's called as a method, but in actual, what we are performing on that object is called as a method. Okay, and this entire hierarchy, right? We are saying it as a hierarchy. Definition wise, it's called as automation object model, guys. Okay, this entire hierarchy is called as automation object model. Okay, so as a definition in the certification or in the interview, if they ask what is automation object model means, it's the collection of objects and the properties. Okay, it is a collection of objects and the properties. When I say what exactly the objects here, okay, the objects are browser, page, and your link. All these are objects. So if you come to the link, what are the properties? How exactly it is trying to find that object? It has the properties saying that HTML tag is A and text equal to sign in. You'll be wondering what exactly the object property means. Supposedly, if anybody wants to recognize you, okay, so what exactly the properties they'll look into? Basically, they'll see your first name, last name, and if the first name and last name is same for two person, what is the unique thing they'll get? Basically, your passport number. Okay, if you are working in a company, your employee ID is unique. Okay, your PAN card number, all those which is unique, right? Uniquely identifiable. The person or an object or the properties or all those things are called as the properties. Okay, so that is how QTP is identifying those objects. If you see here in the application, there might be n number of links. Okay, how it is trying to identify? It is just because the link sign-in has the unique properties. Okay, we have developed another line of code now. Okay, I just want to see whether this line is working properly or not. But before before working on that line, right? Supposedly, if I give a run button now, if I click on the run button, what exactly happens? Again, a browser will get open and it will try to click on the sign in. I don't want to do that. I just want to see whether my seventh line of code is working or not. How do I execute only one line of code? This execution, debugging, all those things are very, very, very important, guys, because that is what you'll be doing on a day-to-day activity in the automation team. Okay, debugging is at most important. In our classes, purposefully we'll be making some of the mistakes, and sometimes accidentally the mistakes also will happen, and we'll be debugging that. Debugging skill is very, very important. Okay, now if I want to execute only the seventh line of code, how do I go about? Okay, if you come here, click on run. Okay, there is something called as run from this step. Okay, run from this step means it runs from that particular step. So which is my particular step now? It is I need to place a cursor here. Okay, and if you had seen closely, what is the shortcut key for that? Control F5. Okay, if I click this now, what it should happen? It should click on the sign in link on the first page. Let me see whether my code is working fine or not. I am clicking on that. Okay, click on run. Okay, if you see here, it has clicked on the sign in and it has gone to the second page. Okay, now our objective now is to automate the things in the second page. Okay, what is the test case says now? The test case says enter the, basically I'm not showing the test case as of now. It will be in detail in the future classes. Just an assumption like positive test case where we are navigating through 3 pages. That's about it. Okay, the step says, assume the step says enter the user ID, password and clicking on the login button. Okay, so how exactly to go about? Now how to write the command for that? To write a command, it is single quote, second page. Okay, now how do I work on this object in the second page? I need to collect these two text boxes. Okay, now let me just collect those two text boxes. How do I go about, how do I navigate? Come to resource, object repository, add objects. I'm adding this object. Okay, click on OK. Then the next thing is click on this plus sign, add this object, the password, click on OK. Again, click on this plus sign, click on this login. Okay, if you closely observe, I move to the second page and check whether the hierarchy, how exactly the hierarchy is coming up. For me, the browsers remains the same. Okay, buy books online it is, but it created a second page. I mean, basically the page, what you call the logical name got changed. It has the second page properties. Okay, and if you see here, this is log ID and password. I don't know. With the nomenclature here, I am able to predict, okay, this might be for the user ID, but in actual, how exactly I can see whether it is, whether it's a actual object or not. Okay, there is something called as highlight in application. Click on highlight in application. It shows you where exactly your objects are. Okay, my first objective is to work on that object. I need to enter my username there. And the next one is this object. I don't know what object it is. Just see, it is the password. Now, if you see here, it's called as a text box in general terms when we speak and when we interact with the technical terms. But in QTP, it is considered as web edit. Who has decided on this? It is in the AOM, right? As I said in a definition, the QTP earlier was developed by the Israel guys and it was owned by what you call Mercury. Okay, they have decided in such a pattern that if it's a text box, it should be considered as it should be identified as a web edit. So that's why you see the text box as a web edit coming up. Okay, so first thing is how exactly to start writing the code. What should be the first parent hierarchy? It is browser, open braces, automatically coming up because if you see here only one browser is there. Under that, what are the two hierarchies? I mean, basically the page. If I open, you will get to see there are two pages. This is the first page objects, and now it is the second page object. Okay, now which one I need to choose now? If you see here, my log ID is present in this second page. I am going to choose this second page. Okay, then dot, what exactly now the object is, the class is WebEdit. I'm going to type WebEdit, open braces. Which one I need to choose now? The log ID, as I highlighted, it is for entering the email, that is entering the username. Now I reached that object, I reached my standard object. What do I need to perform on that object? Okay, generally what do we do on a text box or username? We need to enter. So the enter part is, the method is called as set. All these are built-in methods, guys. Okay, when I say set, enter in that text box. Okay, set, I say QTP world 2008 at gmail.com. Okay, I enter the username. So what would be the second line of code? Second line of code, if you observe, the crude way of analyzing this entire code is, this is the browser. Okay, if you see here, the logical name is almost, the thing is browser, this is the page, and this is the web edit. The crude way of, without even seeing the object repository, if you want to analyze a code, it should have a hierarchy like this: browser, page, and then your whatever the text box is. If it's a link or if it's a button, browser, page, button. So that is how the entire hierarchy would be. So we are in a same browser, same page. Okay, so shall I copy paste this code now? I'm copy pasting the code now. Okay, for the next set of things. Okay, what would be the, my next objective is to enter the password. What is that object called as? It's a web edit. And what is the logical name for that? No need to worry about. QTP will provide that prompts. Okay, dot set. I'm giving the password directly. If you ask me, I mean, we should give the encrypted values and all those things. Encrypted values, how to give and how to do that, we'll be having the session on Thursday when we have the regular sessions coming up. Okay, we'll be having the session on that day, how to encrypt and all those things. Today we'll learn how to enter directly the password, guys. Okay, it is learn 123. Okay, now the next object is the login button. Are we in the same browser, same page? Okay, so what I'm doing is, yes, we are still on the same browser and same page. I'm going to copy that hierarchy. Okay, and dot, what is my standard object now? My standard object now, it's a web button. Generally what we call the button as, in any application we call it as button. So again, the tool whoever has developed, they have made it, they made it in such a way that identify button as a web button. So we are making that as a web button, identifying that as a web button, and what we are doing on that web button is dot click. Okay, so we have written 3 lines of code, basically 3 lines of code for the second page. Okay, let me just we have written 3 lines of code. I want to execute only the second page lines of code. From where it starts? From line number 11 till line number 15. So how do I execute only second page lines of code? Let me close this LOR. When I say LOR, it's called as local object repository. If you see here, the object repository got appended and all the things are stored in one place. That is in turn is basically associated to this test. Whatever we are writing here, right, it is basically associated to that. That's how it's called as local object repository. Okay, to execute, we are going to say control F5. What was the shortcut key for that? Run. If you see here, run from this step, it's called as control F5. So I'm placing the cursor here, control F5. What it should do now? Basically the tool, it should enter username, password, and clicking on the sign in. So what happened in the application, basically, let me open the application now. It has gone to the third page. Okay, so 2-page code has been successfully executed and successfully written. So the test case says, this is the most important point, guys. Now till here, till 15th line of code, right? We are happily navigating. Basically, we have not tested anywhere. Did we test anything till now? We have not tested anything till now. Only the testing things which we can do now is whether this user is there or not, and if he is there, we can say the test case is pass. If the user ID is not there, test case is fail. Okay, and finally click on the sign out and close the browser. So this is what the activity now in the third page. Okay, I have commented saying that third page. So how do I work on this object? So before working on that object, what is the prerequisite which we need to do when we are using local object repository? Come to resource, object repository. Okay. Now what do I need to do? Click on the plus symbol. Which object I need to take? This is the one. Okay, it says QTP World 2008G. Click on OK. Okay. Now next thing, what do I need to do? I need to click on the sign out. So I collect that object. Basically, what we are doing is we are collecting the object in which place? Into the object repository. Whenever we store it in an object repository, by default, it becomes a local object repository because it is associated to a test. Okay. Now I have collected the objects. If I want to validate, basically, if you clearly analyze, manual testing and automation testing is almost similar, guys. Whatever we do manually, we need to write a code in here. Okay. Now, if you are a manual tester, before saying this test case as pass or fail, what you would do in this page is you'll search, okay, QTP World 2008G was my user. Okay, he is there. Let me say test case pass and click on the sign out, and the entire test case is done. So how exactly to convey the same thing through a coding? Okay, so how can we do that is, shall I say, if this object exists, basically what is this object? It's a link which says QTP World 2008G. If this object exists, then pass, else fail. Shall we try to do that? Okay, so before doing that, how can I reach this object? What would be the hierarchy for that object? First is by this thing, browser. First, let me reach that object. It is browser, open braces, then dot, page, open braces, which is the one which I need to, which page which I need to take it? Which page I need to take it? It is this page, Buy Books Online. Okay, so open the braces, Buy Books Online, then dot, what object is this? Basically, what object it is? It is link. Okay, link. Which object I need to take it out? Okay, QTP World 2008. Okay, so I reach this object. Now, how can I say through a coding way that something is pass or not? Okay, I can use a very simple VB script part. See guys, VB script will be starting on Monday, from next Monday basically. And when we say VB script, right, it won't be like from day 1 or day 5 it's going to end. VB script will be part of the course from, whenever it starts until the end of the course, right, it will be part of the course. It's we'll be starting from the basic, and all the advanced concept, all those things would be discussed in the class. Okay, so first and foremost simple VB script which we can learn today is the if condition. Okay, how to write a if condition? I can say if, okay, if starts with if condition, and what I say is I reach this object. Can I say if this exists? If browser page link exists, then is my keyword, then is the syntax. Okay, and if starts and it has a then syntax, and finally it ends with end if. So between these lines of code, what would be the conditions inside, guys? Any guess? What would be the condition inside? It would be like, shall I say message box pass if it is existing. Basically, if the link is existing, I can say pass. Else, message box is also a VB script part where it will prompt, okay, whether it is pass or fail. And else, what should be the condition here? The fail. If you see here, let me reiterate. Okay, we are saying if browser page and this QTP World 2008G link exists, if it exists, okay, then then is a syntax, guys, for the if condition. Okay, if it is there, it should get into the positive condition. Message box as pass, else message box is fail. Okay, and if ends with end if. Okay, so the next thing is, how do I sign out? What is my next objective? I need to click on the sign out. How do I sign out, guys? Okay, by this time you should be able to clearly write the code. First hierarchy will be browser, then what is the page? We are on the same page, but I'm still writing the code. I'm not copy pasting that. Okay, dot what object it is? The sign out, what object? I need to check it out. It is link. Okay, it's a link object. What do I need to perform the action on that? It is basically again a click. Okay, so now we are on the third page and I need to validate the code which is written on the third page. How do I go about, guys? How do I go about? Again, if you remember, place the cursor here, line number 20. What do I need to press in now? It is Control F5. When I do that, what it executes is, if this link exists, it says pass, else it says fail. The message box, you will get it. And finally, it will click on the sign out. Okay, let me say Control F5. It is running. So it has got into the positive condition. It says QTP World 2008G user is logged in, basically. Okay, message box, what happens is, unless you say okay, right, it won't execute the next lines of code. Okay, click on OK, and now it has clicked on the sign out. Okay, now what is the last step which we need to do on this test case? Basically, close the browser. How do you close the browser? Okay, if you see here, come to resource, object repository. Okay, add some object. I just need to close the browser, basically. Okay, if I just click on this page, right, at the page level, I'll get to know, okay, what object, basically what object it is. It is still pointing to me the first page object. So after the sign out, right, it has indeed come down to the first page. So do we have the object already collected here? Do we already have the object collected here? Yes, we do have that. Buy books online browser, it's already collected. So how do I close the browser now? I should say browser, open braces, automatically the logical name is coming up, dot close. Okay, if I want to execute the last line of code, how do I go about? Control F5. Okay, it should close the browser. Okay, we have written a set of code. For a single test case, which is the positive test case, where we launch the application, click on the sign in, enter the user ID password. This one is clicking on the sign in. From line number 11 till line number 15, we are actually logging in. And from line number 20 till line number 28, this is where we are testing, guys. As a automation testers, anybody can navigate anywhere, guys. Your entire skill set comes in where you are testing. So that is what is most important part. Okay, many people say, I know QTP, but I don't know VB script when we take the interviews and all. When we hear that, right, we feel, okay, that person is not aware of the tool properly. Because until unless you know VB script, you can't test anything, right? Anything. So the thing is, basically, in any automation script, right, you'll be having the navigation steps and you'll be having the validation steps. Okay. Combination of these two, you can automate each and every test case. Okay. On a daily basis, you'll be writing the code like this. So we have written the entire code, and the code has been executed page by page. What I'll do is, let me save this test and execute the code completely and see how exactly it works. Okay. Let me save this. Okay. Let me create your batch. It is December 2014. Let me make this as LOR. LOR is nothing but local object repository. I'll be saving in that nomenclature. Okay. So if I give a run now, what it should do, guys, it should execute completely and give me the result. Okay. It won't execute completely. Why? Because we have given a message box in between. So until unless you say okay for that, whatever the result, the execution will be stopped at that point in time. You'll be wondering how exactly I can control this message box. We'll be having a set of things called as log files and all, guys, where we'll be writing the result in the log files so that there is no interruption when it is executed. So you click on OK. Now it signs out and closing of the browser. Okay. Now this is the first discussion with respect to the first test case. Okay. So what I'll do is, let